The first exercise, exercise A01, is going to be a sort of warm-up exercise as well, insofar that it will involve making a very simple loop, a counter-based iteration. And if we look at the description of the problem, we see that we are going to write a program which uses a loop statement to display 9 times the message "hello there" on the screen, on the console. So typically when any statement tells you, when any problem statement tells you, you are going to repeat 9 times doing so and so, well, yes, it's probably with a chance of 99.99% a counter-based repetition. Okay, so we are going to read further. You will use a variable counter. Okay, why not? Which will be assigned the value 1 before the loop statement. So we are talking about using a variable counter initialized to 1 and then starting our loop. During the loop statement, you will display the above message, that is hello there. Increment counter by 1, so nothing new here compared to the slide example, and then keep looping until counter becomes greater strict than 9. So what you read in here is my test condition for determining if I want to get out of the loop or if I want to keep looping is if counter is greater strict than 9, then I stop. Otherwise, I keep looping. So now that we have a pretty good description of what we need to implement as far as loop goes, let's open Raptor and we are going to start our work. So the first task is to initialize a variable counter. So here is my assignment dialog box. Counter is initialized to 1. Then I'm going to select a loop. Here we go. And I'm going to fill in my condition. My condition is counter is greater strict than 9. If this is true, I get out of the loop. If not, I continue looping. So if this is true, I come here. If not, I continue looping. What do I need to do inside this loop? I need to display something. And this is my first question, open question. Do I need to display here or do I need to display here? Well, let me pick one almost at random. Okay, I'm going to choose to do my work and then test exiting the condition. And my work consists in displaying hello world on the screen. Okay, is there anything else missing? Yes, there is one thing missing, the incrementation of the counter. Well, same question, do I put my assignment here, or do I put it here? Well, I'm going to use a basic guideline, okay, I'm going to try something, test it, and figure out if that corresponds to what I want or not. So right now I don't have an accurate idea where I should put this. I'm going to use common sense. Common sense is, well, I start my counter at 1. So when I'm done here displaying hello world, I display the hello world 1 time. And then I'm going to test whether I did it 9 times pretty much or not yet. So I'm going to increment after. Right here, after my test. Why? Because my logic is I start at 1, so I'm going to do things 1 time, test if I did them long enough, and then, if not, I'm going to increment and set counter to counter plus 1. Whoops. Okay. So this is the idea, okay? How did I come up with that? Well, like I said, it's one way to think the problem. If you are not really confident and you cannot come up with this kind of stuff yet, be reassured you will very soon. How do you get started then? Well, you get started by picking one of the positions that I was hesitating between and testing your program. And not only testing and saying, well, it doesn't do what I expect, let's, scramble it and randomly modify it again, because that's not going to teach you anything. What you need to do, if you're not yet sure of your decision, is pick one of those spots, insert your incrementation step there, and then test it, figure out exactly why it doesn't do what you expect, and then make another hypothesis, another location where it should do what you expect, and test it. It's really, really close to the scientific process. So most of the difficulties you are going to encounter when you try to learn programming, you would encounter them in any other science. if you don't follow this step-by-step process of testing and making an hypothesis, an educated one if possible, then testing it and moving on to the next step, etc., etc., until you understand really what you are doing and you are capable to generate better and better and better hypotheses. Okay? Alright, well, so back to this little program. Let me see if I have all my part. Initialization. I have my condition, my test condition here, I have my incrementation here, and I have my do some work statement pretty much there. Well, let's verify that this is doing something in the line of what I expected. I'm going to execute this program. Counter is assigned 1, loop, this is the value of counter. Put hello world, you saw the pop-up window real quick that indicate that something got displayed, and it keeps iterating. Okay, counter is equal to 3, 4 right now, loop again, counter is equal to 5, and I'm going to speed up a little the execution. Okay, there we go, 6, speed up a little more, there we go. So I use the maximal speed just because everything was going to be the same after a while. So I am now at the end of my program. I can see that I reached the end here. Counter is equal to 10. Okay, so as soon as it became like greater string than 9, boom, I got out of the loop and it was equal to 10, which was indeed greater than 9. Let me see the master console. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I displayed 10 times the message on the screen. So let me go back real quick to what was asked of me in my exercise. I will display it 9 times. So there is a problem. The exercise wants me to display 9 times, give me indication, and when I follow those indications, I display it 10 times. So I can go back to my code now, and I can try to figure out exactly where things went wrong, because the description of the exercise made sense. Okay, the code as I look at it right now makes sense. So can I do something here to try to fix this problem? I'm off by 1. Okay, this is a classic bug, and I'm displaying 10 times a message instead of displaying it 9 times. Okay, you can see here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm 1 too far pretty much. Let me have a look at this. Well, one of the decisions I made was to do the work right here. Another decision I made was to do the incrementation after the test. Well, let me reconsider this one. If I do the incrementation after the test, that means that when counter is equal to 9, my test is false. Therefore, I increment it to 10, and I go back to the beginning of the loop and I do my work once more. If I was moving this incrementation right here, what would happen is that I would move my counter to 10 before I have a chance to test it. Therefore, that would solve my problem. Well, that's an interesting hypothesis. Let's now confront it to a real test. Okay, I'm going to set my speed of execution to medium, and I'm going to start the program again. Counter is equal to 1. Loop, display, counter plus 1. So now counter is equal to 2 when I reach my loop. Okay, so I'm 1 ahead. I displayed thing once on the screen, but my counter is already equal to 2. And as we keep iterating, I'm going to keep 1 ahead. That's what my loop is doing. So I'm going to let it finish. Okay, counter is already 8. I'm going to speed up things up a little. Counter is 10. And a word is written on the screen. We are done. Okay, so let's have a look. I finished my loop here. Finish my program here. Counter is equal to 10. It's indeed greater strict than 9, so we are good. Now let me have a look at the master console and see how many times we displayed hello world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bingo. Okay, so even before I give you the solution here, first I hope that you didn't watch this live coding video before to attempt to solve the problem. Otherwise, well, it's not really useful and constructive for you and you are wasting your time. But now that you have been trying your hand at this problem, you saw the live coding video, I want you to make sure that you understand exactly what the mere fact of moving this statement from before to after the condition has been correcting the problem. It's really important that you spend the time to understand this, and of course, as always, ask questions if you are not sure.